people are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Welcome to What's Left podcast on the Derealization Nation Media Network.
I can't afford Mountain Dew! Okay? The economy's rough right now! Obama!
Miners, I love miners.
And now, your hosts.
It's John, it's Jake, it's Brad, it's the Derealization Nation Media Network, it's the What's Left podcast. Welcome, everybody. If you haven't, please like, subscribe. It really helps push us out in the algorithm because the shit we talk about is not algorithm friendly. It just isn't. Guys, before we get to yesterday's State of the Union debacle, we're going to talk about that as little as possible. I'll be frank with you because it just sucked. It just sucked. It's stupid, and nobody should have gone and nobody should have listened, and it just should be ignored. And it will be. It's going to be in the dustbin of history. So just real quickly, a couple of things that are headlines to come on. Cuba says border guards killed 4 people on a U.S. registered speedboat. There's really no other details other than that, other than they killed 4, captured 6. They said that they were fired upon from that boat. And Marco Rubio says that we can't trust Cuba. I say we can't trust Marco Rubio either. So I really don't know. There's really not much to that story other than that right now, but it is exceedingly strange and a little bit wild. JD Vance says that Minnesota's Medicaid funds are being halted as part of Trump's war on fraud. Just last night, he was named the fraud czar. So war on race war really is what his real role is, I would say, because obviously if they were going for a war on fraud, they'd need to look no further than the White House.
Didn't they just call it Doge last year and then take away benefits from Americans? And now they're just calling JD Vance the fraud czar and taking away benefits from American citizens?
Yeah, I think I'm sensing a pattern as well, Brad.
Yeah, they're just changing the name. Brother, it's all the same. You're taking away benefits from Americans. Call it what you want.
Yep, for sure. First it was government waste. People hate the government. Easy peasy. Now it's
Now it's
racist
brown
waste.
people fraud. Yeah,
Brown
now
people
it's just
fraud.
brown people fraud.
Yeah, we just moved on to racism. Less people are for it, but they spent the whole night last night basically just demeaning brown people, going through the whole routine. And that's the thing. This has just been done to fucking death over and over again. They do this shit. Trump did his whole routine where he talks down about, just goes into gory detail of every crime that Fox News can dig up that was done by a migrant. And talks about how they need to get them out. And it's just I say this a lot, but I just say it again. If you really want to play that game, you could easily break Trump's State of the Union record by just listing, the domestic violence crimes committed by white men in the past 30 days without all the details.
Exponentially higher.
It's just, yeah. So it's just not a game that you want to play. It's not a fair game to play. It's a stupid game to play.
So normally, people that are in support of the president are the ones who tune into the State of the Union.
Yeah.
People that are anti the president don't really watch it because why would they? So, but he knows that his base eats that up. The 30% or whatever that still support him, they love that racism shit. You were either an idiot, a racist, or a billionaire. That's it. Those are the only 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nobody else gives a fuck about that at all. Trump's pick for Surgeon General is just unqualified. She's just never actually completed with the requirements to get her medical license. She's hip, loopy, RFK friendly, and I swear to God, if she gets through the Senate, guys, we're gonna just have I don't know, just why not? What are we even doing? A nearly blind refugee was abandoned by U.S. Border Patrol and found dead in Buffalo. So just more of this fucking cruelty, and so that's another death. I mean, to me, that's a murder. Because this is what they do. They've been dropping people off. They've been dropping kids off in the woods in Minnesota without proper clothing. And they actually have a whole patrol of people rescuing people out in Minnesota, just because that's what they do. And this Burmese man did not make it. He was a refugee. And for those of you who may not know, like a refugee means that like you had a reason to flee his country. So, this person was already being tortured in the place that he came from, only to come here and be tortured by our government. So, just to put that into perspective. We like to traumatize people. Sick fucks. Larry Summers resigns over the Epstein Files. Good fucking riddance to Bill Clinton's financial advisor, who also is the reason that, or part of the reason that Obama bailed out the banks instead of homeowners and failed to help cut pensions, all that. Like that was all Larry Summers stuff. Uh, you know, so fuck him.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit.
Resignation is not prosecution.
No, hung by the ankles and having rocks thrown at you at a gas station is probably more fitting punishment for these people. We're going to talk more about those files and stuff later, but yeah, Larry Summers is he's gross. All right. Let's get to the State of the Union review because, we have to do something for it. So here's 5 moments, quick moments in this minute-long clip from Newsweek. And this will show us some of the things.
Our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before. Nobody stands up. These people are crazy, I'm telling you. They're crazy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time. I used these tariffs, took in hundreds of billions of dollars to make great deals for our country, both economically and on a national security basis. And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down, Very unfortunate ruling. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. So last year, Charlie was violently murdered by an assassin and martyred for his beliefs.
No.
His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand.
Corrigible. Fuck. All right.
Why are we still talking about him?
We're not. They are, because they are Charlie Kirk. They are racist, unabashed, and apparently all have gum problems. Let's take them in order, though, shall we? Let's go first with the hottest country in the world. Basically, the only thing I want to say about this is just like, guys, he has no new talking points. This was all just a rehash of the hits.
Yeah, this was him just saying, like, if I tell them it's great enough, they'll believe me.
Yeah.
Again, anyone with a IQ above room temperature knows that he's just flat out lying to us. But his base eats it up.
Yep.
They're like, oh yeah, 185,000 job growth in a year. That's great news. That's great numbers.
Yeah. Oh, we've got some numbers. We got some numbers.
Less than 200,000 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. The reality is much different. Yeah, Jake.
I was just gonna say we're the hottest because everybody's talking about us and making fun of us.
Yeah.
If he means it in that sense, then yes.
Yeah.
We're the hottest topic right now.
Yeah. In that nobody wants to touch us for fear of getting burned. Yeah, sure. Pretty hot. All right, let's talk about the Dems. I just want to say they had no business being there. I said it before. I said it again. There was no reason to go. There was no reason to go. I'll give credit to the ones who like fought, stood up, whatever. So what with survivors, it's good. That's good. If this person hadn't killed American citizens on the street, right? if this wasn't like, if this fascism hadn't accelerated to the point that it has, I say go for it. But this should have been a coordinated effort to be empty. He gave him the opportunity to yell at them and to pick on it. He's got the microphone. You don't, you know, like you can yell and kick and scream all you want, but I just don't think it's all that effective. Um, and like Brad said, the people who tune into this shit really aren't anybody other than MAGA. So I just let them have their fucking party. Walk away from them. Like we really need to start isolating these people from good society. That's just my opinion.
So as I told you, I watched the beginning,
Yeah.
and two things got thunderous applause in the time that I watched it. Celebrating the USA men's hockey team. They got fired up for it. Okay. And the other thing that drew thunderous applause for literal minutes, they grandstanded over this for literal minutes. Donald Trump said, stand up if you support American citizens over illegal aliens. That's what he said. And not a single Democrat stood up. You guys are fucking stupid. You all allowed him to sit there and grandstand for literal minutes because you went to this and he knew you weren't going to stand up and he made you look like fucking idiots in the middle of this fucking MAGA marathon where all his supporters are watching you not stand up like he knew you weren't going to stand up. And now you look fucking dumb to the MAGA cult.
Yeah, exactly. To the call. Like they got all the reinforcement that they needed to jack his fucking base support back up to 36, 37% solid. They got what they needed to see. These people are for illegal aliens. They're not for me. And they didn't have to do that. If it was an empty room, he gets no opportunity to do that.
Exactly. He gets no chance to do that. Also, I'm not going to say that it's not concerning that you wouldn't stand up and say you prioritize American citizens.
Well, yeah, but I even just acknowledging the idea that there is something as an illegal person is just not something you can do either. He knows that. He knows that, and that's why they did it. Jacob, it's basically like, anybody who's dumb won't stand up. You know what I mean? Like a third grader.
That's exactly what it was. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it was. And he just stood there and just like smirked as they all sat and everybody just kept cheering.
Yep. What do you think, Jake?
Dumb.
Spineless.
Typical. We also Al Green sign, cool picture, cool moment. Mark Wade Mullen tried to rip it out of his hands, which is like so incredibly racist. Again, though, the moments just weren't worth the stupid abuse.
Dude, Mark Wade Mullen is Trump's top gooner, bro. He is Trump's A1 fanboy.
Yeah. Loves him. Loves him. Dems also did like a separate thing where they did some speeches. That was all right. You know what I mean? Good idea. Cool. Little rally. State of the Union responses weren't bad. Like Abigail Spanberger is a CIA agent. I don't trust her. I don't. I have nothing like, especially not in the era of Epstein. Not here for CIA agents, but she's actually moved a little bit. At least not. She hasn't ran to the right since she's been elected. She raised minimum wage. She's done some things, and her State of the Union response was not unwatchable, which is something that has not been done successfully in my lifetime. The responses are always unwatchable. So I guess good enough job. Summer Lee also did a response that was much better because she actually has energy and believes in the things that she's saying. And so I will play one clip of that just, for morale.
I listened to Donald Trump's speech tonight. While Trump and his friends profit off his presidency, he's gaslighting us. He wants to convince working families that we're better off under his regime. But we know the truth. Our country is in crisis. For millions of Americans, affordability is out of reach. Trump has driven up the unemployment rate, cutting thousands of federal jobs across the country. Everything he does is making Americans less safe at home and abroad. He's bringing us to the brink of wars in the Middle East and South America. And at home, ICE agents are hunting down human beings and cities are under siege. The FBI is raiding election offices in Georgia. Students are being disappeared for protesting tyranny and genocide in Palestine. The environmental protections we earned after a generation of advocacy are being stripped away. Educators are facing attacks on public and higher education because diversity and truth threaten corporate power. Workers are facing union busting and retaliation. And the Republican-led Congress, it's abdicated its post as a co-equal branch and yielded itself to the oligarchs in the White House.
She's also introduced articles of impeachment against Pam Bondi, or will this week. So she's one of the ones doing the work.
I don't understand how Pam Bondi still has a job. It's truly crazy to me.
Because the Dow is 50,000.
I don't even think it's back yet. I don't even think it's rebounded yet.
Brad, that's just because you don't believe hard enough.
You're right. I don't believe hard enough. Same with Kash Patel. He's like out there partying with Team USA, and it's like, you just help cover up the biggest pedophile ring the world has ever seen. How will you celebrate? He's like slamming beers with Team USA.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about Team USA. Because this is just you know, a problem, right? We're in the era of Epstein, and this whole culture that we have has kind of just been shaped by these billionaires, right? Like, they're the ones who put these things out into society. They're the ones that bring out things like locker room talk and boys will be boys and all these other kinds of things. And this sort of movement, it rears its ugly head in this. And, it's political because the FBI director was there. It's political because the president of the United States decided to make a joke. It wasn't anybody's choice to make it political except for the people in charge. They chose to interject themselves into that celebration. That was maybe unfair to the players, but their reaction, the players are adults. So people that are making excuses for these players, I'm sorry, they're adult men. Like, some of them have been adults and apologized, and that's what you should do. And others have just doubled down and sent their mom out to apologize for them, which is the saddest, softest shit on the fucking planet. Exact opposite of what you should do.
These dudes are all like midlife crisis frat bros. Like the guys like Patel and Keg's Breath, like Dan Bongino even. They're all just like midlife crisis frat bros. And their followers are the same thing. Like the MAGA crowd is like, hell yeah, they drink a beer. You know what I mean? Like those are people still supporting them.
Yeah.
So this is cool to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kash Patel helped cover up the biggest pedophile ring the world has ever seen. And we're partying with them.
Yeah.
Great. Disgusting.
Jake, what do you think?
What I think is they're all creeps and assholes, and the women's team won and has won more than them since they've started.
Yeah.
And the men's hockey team is a joke.
Yeah, it was the first time.
I don't think they should even ask for forgiveness. They're stupid. At this point, there is no need for an apology because you did it. And you know exactly what he stands for, what he's done, and what he's doing. So you even apologize, it's bullshit. You don't deserve any forgiveness, and you don't deserve anything like that.
No, it's a bit late. I would say too, like, it was a stupid joke. It wasn't a good joke. You're like 23, 24 years old. Why are you laughing at some fucking old boomer joke? Oh, my wife, the old ball and chain. How fucking old are you? It's a bad joke. It's not funny. And they laughed so fucking hard. What a bunch of fucking losers. What a bunch of fucking losers. Here's one of the women's hockey players. There's a few of these, but I thought this one kind of sums it up pretty good.
Trump can invite whoever he wants. We never really cared about that. When the men's team was invited to the State of the Union, we weren't upset. They earned it. What caught us was the joke. We also have to invite the women's team, or people will criticize us. It wasn't mean or a conspiracy, but we felt like an afterthought. Our gold medal isn't a footnote. We put in the same blood, sweat, and years, decades of training, injuries, losses, doubt. This medal weighs the same as anyone else's. We shouldn't be treated like a fix. You can see the difference if you just look at what happened. The men got a call from the president that same day. Everything moved fast, national support, even talk of military planes. We were mentioned days later, like an afterthought. They show you exactly where you stand, so we decided not to go. Not because of scheduling, not to make headlines. There was just a moment where you think, if even after winning Olympic gold we're still treated as a side note, why keep playing along with that story? We're champions. We bleed, we get hurt, we fail, and we get back up. What we do is just as hard as anyone else. This time we didn't want to be the appendix anymore.
Yeah. Brad, I know you have a
Simple.
daughter in sports.
Yeah. If you don't respect us, why would we entertain your nonsense?
Right.
Like, very clearly, Trump was like, they're not equal. That's what he said. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, that's what they're saying. They're not equal. So these women are like, well, let's stop pretending like you value us.
Yeah.
And let's just call it what it is.
Jake, these are the people who are desperately out here protecting women from men and women's sports. Are you surprised that they would be so callous?
No, because I've said it since day one. They don't give a shit about women's sports. They never have and never will.
I mean,
They act all crazy about it just because it's something that they don't like. Do they care about it? Like what they're doing? No. They just care about the person who's trying to fit in and live their life normally. That's all it is.
Miss Women's Sports herself, I mean, the face of women's sports, Riley Gaines, was in support of the president treating women like second-class citizens after their gold medal win.
What?
She's the champion of women's sports. Like, she is like the face of women's sports. You know what I mean?
Well, to
The
be
fifth
fair,
place
she's probably
finish
the fifth place for
But that's what I'm saying. Like, she grandstands that she's made every dollar she's made by being like, I'm for women's sports, and then the president's like, women aren't equal, and she's like, dude, just relax.
Relax, just locker room talk, right? Yada yada yada.
What a strange year for hockey. Like, it was gay. Now they're with the president. And now there's a women's team and they're rocking the shit out of the world. Like, it's just, no one cared about hockey in the first place, really.
Yeah.
I'm saying that in Pittsburgh, but like, that's crazy. But like, hockey's always been like a lower tier one. It's just wild to see their ride this past year.
Yeah. It was a great thread that said, great new gay hockey show, but it's just the entire men's hockey team blowing the president. Yeah.
That also could be written by a straight woman.
Yeah, probably, yes, absolutely. It could have been written by Riley Gaines.
Yeah.
Jake, let me see that one graphic that we've got with all the medals on it, because I think this is worth mentioning as well. All right, so this is from War with MJ, a good follow on Threads if you're on Threads. To everyone saying women or Dems made the USA hockey thing political, let's look at this. The United States won 12 gold medals at these Olympics. Michaela Schifrin won the gold in slalom. Alyssa Liu won gold in women's figure skating. Jordan Stoltz won 2 gold medals in speed skating. Breezy Johnson won gold in alpine skiing. Alina Myers-Taylor won gold in bobsled. The women's hockey team won gold. The aerial skiing team won gold. Was Kash Patel in any of the locker rooms? And I just want to say, thank God, no. Jesus. But was there for Alyssa Liu? Did Trump call Michaela Schifrin? Were any of them invited to the State of the Union? Did the president post memes where he won a figure skating match? You heard about the men's hockey team. One team, one sport, one country. The same country Trump has spent a year talking about annexing. The same country he called the 51st state over and over. The same country threatened with 25% tariffs, then 35%, then 100%. The same country he calls the prime minister governor. It goes on in the ways that he has made this thing about himself. But yeah, if you think this is about something other than Donald Trump, then you're sorely mistaken. And that was, I mean, and so congratulations to the men's team for joining the rest of the cucks in that audience last night, and sitting there and just, watching Trump fuck your girlfriend, I guess, you know?
Yeah, this has nothing to do with the fact that they're gold medalists. It's just that they were just like, yes, we'll be pawns in your little game.
Yeah.
Like it's awesome that you won a medal for the United States. That's awesome.
Bro,
But to just pander because you did it, silliness.
I was so happy for you for like an hour. And then, the joke, and then on top of the joke, then like now you're gonna go, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if you had skipped the joke and taken the invite to the White House, we might be having a little bit different conversation. Or if you had, said something about how it made you uncomfortable, or that the women's team deserves something more. You could be considered much more respectable, but you didn't. You didn't stand up until everybody fucking yelled at you. And even then, most of you didn't. And the two brothers threw their mom out in front of them. Who fucking defended them? This shit has to stop. Okay? This fucking bullshit where we just like allow this. Like, this is why we are where we are. This is why we can't get out of this fucking cycle of abuse of women like this and children, because we do things like this. Check this out. Here's the since Les Wexner recently decided that he was innocent, and wants everybody to believe that bullshit. Check this out.
As more comes out about Epstein, people online are realizing that they may have been taught their beauty standards by his associates and him. Let me explain. This guy, Les Wexner, is largely responsible for the mall culture that shaped a lot of the early 2000s. He was also closely tied to Epstein. To put it simply, the man who set the standards for beauty and fashion for preteens had a close relationship with the now most infamous trafficker in This wasn't a casual, we're at the same party kind of relationship. According to the New York Times, Wexner let Epstein borrow money on his behalf, sign his tax returns, hire people, and make acquisitions for L Brands, which was limited to. It was Victoria's Secret and more. Wexner is obviously not the only powerful businessman linked to Epstein, but this relationship has kind of been earth-shattering for millennial women, which is why people are now making the connection. Think about it. The early 2000s were all about body glitter, sweet scents, skimpy shirts, sweats with text written across the butt, and push-up bras in cute girly colors, all of which were targeted at preteens. It's conditional grooming to push girls into early womanhood without the development. Ads then push this narrative that girlhood was sexy. You know the tropes, the sleepover pillow fights, girls dancing in their underwear, obsessing over boys, and the diet culture to stay waifishly, almost childlike, thin. We were trained to think this was all normal. It's so ingrained in how our worldview was shaped in our developmental years, and it promoted unhealthy standards that take years to unlearn.
So I'm saying the cultural damage that has been done by this class of billionaires that are pedophiles, as they say, across the pond. I don't know if that's going to help the algorithm or not, but probably not. Uh, the but these people have been setting the cultural standards for kids for a long time, and so you have this culture of like, boys will be boys and girls are, all of that. Like I don't know. That kind of opened my eyes a little bit to just like thinking a little bit more about like how fucked our entire society has been, because that's just who's been setting the standards for us. Not something I thought about before.
Right. Like I understood who Les Wexner was, but like when you say it, when you tie it into like he had Victoria's Secret, so like now you're like, oh yeah, that's right. Like clothes, like when we were kids, were more and more revealing by the day. It was cool.
Yeah. So speaking of Les and Victoria's Secret, there's Chris. Just this survivor is Karen Mulder, the first Epstein whistleblower, hero trailblazer. This story is in the Independent. If you want to check it out, a woman who lost everything to bring the truth into the light. At 15, she entered a modeling contest and signed on with Elite Modeling. You've heard that talked about in connection with Epstein and Trump, just as, friends. They were all friends, these weird model guys. Her career exploded with Versace, Vogue, and Elle. Quickly became one of the top 10 highest paid models, supermodels. On October 31st, 2001, she went on a popular TV show. The conversation was supposed to be light and fun. But instead, she revealed that she had been raped by politicians, CEOs, and even royal family members. The men she named were Jeffrey Epstein, Jean-Luc Brunel, Harald Maria, and Prince Albert of Monaco. Uh, the show never aired, the tape was deleted, and she told the same story to a magazine reporter. And then, within hours, she was admitted to a psych hospital, drugged, and held for 5 months. The president of Elite Modeling, Harold Marie, paid for her treatment. This was the very man she named as an abuser. So that story, she's a survivor. She's still alive. I believe, lives in Switzerland. Don't quote me on that part. But this has been going on for a long time. But if you said anything about stuff like this, you got called crazy and put in a psych ward and drugged. Like, I mean, this is the way that we have been. And this is not like ancient history. This is recently. It's the early 2000s. It's fucking wild. We've spoken about Zorro Ranch a lot. New owner Don Huffines runs a private equity firm. Of course he fucking does. In a biotech company that reportedly sources cardiac cells from babies under 30 days old. Jeffrey Epstein allegedly told prominent scientists that he intended to use the ranch as a baby factory. Some of the worst speculations about this place have been that. Just absolutely disgusting. These places were never, ever investigated.
We knew about it. We've been informed about it. We know it's happening. And then they're just still doing it right in our faces with different people.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
Nothing is stopped. Nothing is stopping. Nothing is, what I mean? There's been no accountability at all. They're just different players in the same game.
Yeah. Still not a lot of movement. The Clintons' testimony is coming up. Don't expect to learn a whole hell of a lot from that. But I mean, also, like, they found out that there's Epstein Files in different private lockers all over the country, thanks to some checks. So they found one of the lockers had like a sex slave manual in it, along with a lot of photos of probably victims and a videotape. So there's just shit. There's so much, so much. We are barely, I mean, tip of the iceberg is not even a fair comparison. Like, it is just, we have scratched not even just above the surface.
Thursday and Friday this week, respectively, Bill and Hillary, will be testifying Thursday and Friday this week. So by the time you hear this episode, one of them will be in the hot seat, pleading the fifth at a fucking alarming rate.
Yeah, right. This has been bothering me like so much. Like, Bill Barr's dad was the one who gave Epstein his first job. Merrick Garland was a worthless piece of fucking worm who did nothing. We have at least these attorney generals: Bondi, Garland, Barr, right? Bring them in and figure out why the fuck these things weren't. And all of the FBI directors, like, start questioning these guys, because you shouldn't need a subpoena, right? You should be able to just say, like, publicly, just go out there and be like, listen, we would like to talk to Bill Barr, and, you're a politician, go say it on TV and say it over and over again until he's forced to respond. At least make them avoid you, because they should be somebody should be volunteering. Somebody in the FBI for all these fucking years, somebody in the CIA, not one single motherfucker. And you wonder why people think all cops are bastards, when the only thing we ever see you do is fucking murder people on the street. And then when a real crisis happens, you can't find one person at the highest level of professionalism who's willing to stand up and say, listen, I have something to say to Congress. That's incredible to me.
Because he's drinking beers with the USA hockey team.
I'm not even talking. I'm talking about real cops. Right? I'm talking about the people who are caught. Like, there's been 1,000 people before that moron, right?
I agree.
Where are they at? I don't know.
They're doing nothing. Like, I
they're
don't
doing nothing.
understand.
I saw Shirley out there doing his own investigative research, hunting down his dad, right? And he's found out more about that than, imagine having the full force of the FBI behind you. You'd have this guy fucking in prison yesterday. You know? We don't have there's just no will at all still. And that's disgusting. That's an indictment on this entire fucking dump of a country. Just is. Trump at the end talked a little bit about wanting to go to war with Iran. Democratic leadership is concerned that they don't know the why, but they are not concerned about whether or not we're actually going. They're obviously very pro this because they all take money from the same fucking people. They're all pro Israel. This would be getting Iran not having a nuclear bomb allows Israel to finish off the Middle East, is what that does, right? Like, if there's no threat from Iran at all, then Israel has no check whatsoever. They're the only country right now with nukes. Iran is like the biggest country, and they don't have nukes, but they have certain long-range missile capabilities, and they defend themselves. They're capable of defending themselves. And they're not in the pocket of the United States like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, and the rest of them. They haven't sold out. So they're obviously not a good. It's not a good regime, right? All of them are all fucking evil. There's not one good player in this fucking on this board. But the idea that if Iran falls, this is about Israel, I guess is what I'm getting at. Like, the point is like, this is about and for the greater Israel project. This is because of the Bible. This is foreign policy based on the Bible.
Remember, excuse me. Remember when we bombed them last year? We bombed Iran. It was a matter of national security to make sure they couldn't obtain nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
That's what we said. And then Donald Trump went on national television and told everybody we decimated them. There's nothing left. All their chances are done. And now they're 2 weeks away from having the ability to have nuclear weapons again.
Yeah.
That's what they're also telling us. Like, just tell us that you're going to go bomb them for Israel so you can stop pretending like we know now. Like, even people on the right know now that this is all for Israel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stop pretending like it's not.
The one thing that is good about Tucker Carlson talking about this stuff, whatever his motives may be, is that people on the right are hearing the atrocities that Israel's committing. And that's not a bad thing.
Yes.
It's not a bad
Nick
thing.
Fuentes is a piece of garbage.
Yes.
But it's making the right be like, oh, wait a minute. We are giving money to Israel to just kill women and children.
Yeah. Yep. But as long as they're killing people here at home who disagree with them, they'll still be okay. As long as it owns the libs, you know what I mean? Like, most of them will reconcile those things in their head. But the more, I don't know, people who can read past the 6th grade level and who aren't just violently racist might actually hear some of this. They were never going to hear it before, like, ever.
Never, because if we say it, they don't care. You know what I mean? Like, they just don't care.
No. Jake, give us the Iran stuff. All right, this from Drop Site News. Could somebody else grab that for me?
I got it. Even if Iran and the U.S. sign a temporary agreement centered on Iran's nuclear enrichment, the issue of its ballistic missiles will hover over the long-term viability of any deal. The demand that Iran curtail or even fully dismantle its capacity has been advocated most strongly by Israeli Prime Minister B.J. Netanyahu, despite protests from regional countries aiming to avoid a war. That the demand would function as a poison pill for any negotiation. I'd be very surprised if Iran took a step that meant de facto that they're giving up on what they would consider the means of deterrence through their means of retaliation. the ballistic missile program, said Malley.
Yeah. The only countries the United States doesn't fuck with are the ones who've kept their nuclear programs, like North Korea. Any country that doesn't have one is fair game. So, like, the Trump's behavior incentivizes people to get and keep nukes. And he threw away the fucking deal that they had. So there's really no reason to trust him. Yeah, just foreign policy is worse with Trump. It's bad. U.S. foreign policy is shit. But it's worse with Trump. This is on the 3rd of July in 1988. The U.S. Navy shot down a radio passenger flight 655, murdering 290 innocent civilians, including 66 children. Not only did the U.S. government ever apologize for these killings, but they even awarded the crew ship with medals for their service shortly after the tragedy. That is what That's what Iran knows about the United States.
Was that during senior? Was that Reagan or senior? Is that senior?
That would 88 would be between Reagan and senior. So July, that should be HW.
Okay.
Yeah. Still, I mean, what's the difference? It's just
vice president. I mean, it's, two birds.
Yeah, two birds. One with significantly less charisma.
Okay.
All right. You all remember last year? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But Israel, they found those ambulances buried out near Gaza. That the Israelis had said we're enemy combatants, whatever. They tried to cover up the evidence, but this new report comes out today about this ambush, and the truth is what you'd expect from the IDF. Yeah, Brown.
So the report's key findings: Israeli soldiers ambushed and subjected the Palestinian aid workers to continuous assault by gunfire for over 2 hours. There was no exchange of fire in the area and no tangible threat to the safety of those soldiers. These attacks did not happen in a hostile and dangerous combat zone, as claimed by Israeli spokespersons. Utilizing detailed spatial and audio analysis, the report presents a minute-by-minute reconstruction of the massacre, providing evidence which clearly and indisputably refutes the claims of the Israeli military.
Things like... Okay.
On 23 March last year in Rafah, Gaza, 15 emergency workers, 8 from the Palestine Red Crescent Society, 6 from the Palestinian Civil Defense, and 1 UNRWA worker were massacred by Israeli forces while traveling in clearly marked ambulances. Their bodies, as well as the vehicles, were found over a week later, buried in a shallow mass grave. Several of the victims were found with their hands or legs tied.
That was the one that should have been first. Yeah, and go ahead.
New report by Forensic Architecture and Earshot reveals Israel shot and killed 15 Gaza aid workers at point-blank range and then concealed evidence of the massacre.
Yeah, we did it almost completely backwards, but
you get the gist.
Yeah.
Israel lied and killed aid workers.
Yeah.
Aid workers.
Yep.
With no threat to them.
None whatsoever. There were, if you look at the video, the 3D imaging, which is available online, like they were above. So like there's no, like you had to see the ambulance lights on top of the vehicle. You could not know that they were ambulances. They fired at them 910 times. 910 gunshots were recorded. Like just these, it's the state of Israel is a terrorist state, and it has to be stopped. It has to be stopped. Like talking about like, oh, we can't send them any more offensive weapons. No, fucking cut them off. Defensive weapons, everything. It is against our own laws to even be fucking defending a country with nuclear capabilities. So I mean, that's we shouldn't even be doing that. And then when they are violating international laws, Geneva law, like that's against United States law as well. So even if you don't give a fuck about international law, like you're supposed to, like if a country commits war crimes, we are not legally allowed to provide them aid. And yet here we are doing it every day. Every day they fucking violate international law, they commit war crimes.
And now we've created a nuclear superpower by funding them. So we're not going to speak against them because for the same reason, we don't start many fights with North Korea.
Right.
Yeah, we don't start fights with the nuclear superpowers.
No.
Because you just need one reckless enough to push the button.
And it seems like every nuclear superpower also has a copy of Donald Trump blowing Bubba.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah, there's that too. They got their guy. Since we're running your time, just as a palate cleanser, let's hear a little bit more from Summer Lee.
You can't reform oppression or hatred. You must abolish it. This rigged system keeps squeezing the people who have it hardest. The communities with the least power, the workers with the least protection, and the families already living on the edge. But we don't have to accept that. The rich, connected, and well-protected may want us to believe this has to remain the status quo, but we can work to make things right. We've seen working people come together from the civil rights movement to the creation of labor unions to change this country for the better, despite powerful opposition. So right now, we need bold policy proposals that meet this moment. We can build an America that works for the many and not just the money. An America where you can actually afford a home, where healthcare is guaranteed, with affordable childcare and education, with paid family and medical leave, and jobs with a union standard. We can create a just and humane immigration system. We can have environmental policies that put the health of our people and our planet over the profits of oil and gas executives. We can fund education instead of endless war and genocide in Palestine or Sudan or anywhere else in this world. That vision is not radical. It is the bare minimum required for a healthy democracy and for people to pursue happiness and live with dignity.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're talking about. For sure.
Yeah.
Simple.
I like that she just reiterates this is not a radical idea.
Right. It is not. This is the normalest thing on the fucking planet. All right. That's all the time we got. So like and subscribe if you haven't done it already. Thank you to the growing Derealization Nation. It's so exciting for me to go on every day and to see new subscribers and interact with you guys in the comments and see you sharing and liking our stuff. It's just, I don't know, it's humbling, and I couldn't be more grateful for everything that you guys are doing for us. So if you like our stuff, like and subscribe, click the notification bell to get notified when we drop new videos. And other than that, though, until next time, I'm John.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left.
Advocate for children and never let anybody make you feel bad for doing it.